A nuclear-powered missile is moving through the Arctic. Putin's flying Chernobyl is back in focus. Spy planes are landing, military aircraft are moving, ships are taking position. Russia's nuclear testing ground is stirring. The weapon is built for one terrifying advantage: almost unlimited range. And now, the world is watching the Arctic, because something may be about to fly. And its direction, only Mr. Putin can tell. Fresh satellite imagery over Russia's Arctic has raised serious alarms in Western defense circles, with signs pointing to preparations for another test of Vladimir Putin's nuclear-powered cruise missile, nicknamed the Flying Chernobyl. According to reports, aircraft have been gathering at the Novaya Zemlya archipelago, a site the Soviets once used for their most destructive nuclear tests, including the Tsar bomber detonation in 1961, the largest nuclear explosion ever recorded. This week, 2 specialist aircraft reportedly used to track missile trajectories and gather test data touched down at the Rogachevo airbase. They join an early warning aircraft, several military transports and a handful of helicopters already stationed there. Civilian vessels once involved in earlier trials have also been spotted moving into position in the Barents and Kara Seas. The missile at the center of the concern is the Burevestnik, known in the West by its NATO codename Skyfall. It is powered by its own onboard nuclear reactor, a design that in theory gives it near unlimited range, enough, analysts say, to reach the UK.
They follow the same pattern seen during previous tests of Putin's experimental 9M730 cruise missile. It now appears that everything is ready for actual Burevestnik flight testing.
Moscow has neither confirmed nor denied that a new test is imminent. The Kremlin has previously boasted about the weapon's capabilities, though its track record tells a more complicated story. Of roughly 14 attempted tests, only 2 are believed to have succeeded. One in 2022, lasting barely 2 minutes, and another last year that reportedly kept the missile airborne for 15 hours across 14,000 kilometers.
During the flight, the missile performed all the prescribed vertical and horizontal maneuvers, demonstrating its high capabilities for evading missile and air defense systems.
The weapon's grim nickname traces back to the 1986 Chernobyl disaster, and experts warn that any mishap during testing or deployment could carry similarly radioactive consequences given its atomic core. The renewed activity comes as fighting in Ukraine shows no sign of easing. Overnight strikes saw Ukraine disable the Afipsky oil refinery in Krasnodar, setting it ablaze and deepening Russia's fuel troubles, while Moscow answered with a wave of missile attacks. Strikes on Kharkiv and Zaporizhzhia left civilians dead, and more than a dozen people, including 4 children, were injured in the Chernihiv region. In Kyiv itself, a residential block collapsed only hours after UK's Prime Minister Andy Burnham departed the capital.
This is the UK doing what it has long said it would do, which is to support Ukraine 100% against this illegal war led by Vladimir Putin. We are providing support so that Ukraine can defend itself, and that's been the British position all the way through this conflict by previous Prime Ministers. It remains the case with me. We are not fair weather friends. We will be there in Ukraine's hour of need, and that won't change.
Burnham's visit, the first to Kyiv since taking office, marked the country's Independence Day alongside President Volodymyr Zelensky, and came shortly after Britain handed over technical blueprints to help Ukraine produce its own long-range Storm Shadow missiles.
This means only one thing. The President, Vladimir Putin, warned about our right to act in any area of the ocean if someone encroaches on our interests and our ships. Similarly, we have the right to consider this proudly declared direct involvement of British missile forces in strikes against the Russian Federation as UK's direct involvement in the war, with all the ensuing consequences.
Some defence analysts now warn the move could expose UK officials to retaliation, with one former British Army commander suggesting Russian intelligence services may already be eyeing European and British defence figures as potential targets.